Welcome back to Movies Recap. Today, I will show you a supernatural horror film titled Devil's Advocate. Spoilers ahead, watch out, and have a good day.
He is the most powerful lawyer in the history of America, less than 30 years old. He won 60 lawsuits in a row, but today's lawsuit has dragged him into the abyss. A girl sues her teacher for rape. This girl cried in court. The audience was filled with emotions. Kevin is the teacher's lawyer. At this moment, he saw that the teacher was acting unkind. Kevin angrily leaves the court. "You're helping real perverts get away with crime." These are the mistakes of his career. This is a problem. A reporter came and said Kevin had lost all hope for this lawsuit. Winning achievement, it's about to end here. That irony is like a stabbing knife. Immerse yourself in Kevin's vanity, in front of his own reputation being dishonored. The so-called justice Kevin doesn't need anymore. Back to court. Kevin uses graffiti from the girls in his class, amplify her disgust and fantasies about teachers, succeeded to make her accusations distorted in teenage girls' fantasies. Kevin wins the case. His senses are a mess right now. The group then celebrated the win. At that time, someone from a top law firm found him, invite him to New York to fight a lawsuit. Kevin has long wanted to find a new sky to develop. He quickly agreed. Farewell to the mother in a hurry. He and his wife, Marianne, quickly moved to New York. Too bad Kevin only found out when he arrived. He has to help another guy get away with crime. He is the trampler of the bottom line of morality. Kevin won the case again. Great debate makes the boss extremely satisfied. This Milton seems to take Kevin seriously. Kevin has been missing his father's love since he was a child. First time being recognized by a successful man. Kevin feels happy. Milton looks decent and kind. Both of them are very happy to talk. Kevin is still considering whether or not he wants to stay in New York. Kevin will be staying in a posh downtown area. In the blink of an eye, Kevin has been arranged a house here. Look at the area and location of the new house. Mary can't believe how nice the house is. Under the praise of his wife, Kevin decided to join and stay. After all, wealth and fame are what everyone wants. Not long after coming to the new company, Kevin has received a new case. Old Hay, a church organizer, gather a mob to kill a goat, being sued for obstructing public health. Kevin's job is to help him get away with crime. He found his client at one of his churches. Hope to know more details of the case. After a talk, they created a fake scene to fabricate evidence for Hay's innocence. This can silence opposing attorneys. Tomorrow, Kevin takes advantage of America's right to religious freedom, in the name of the church that helped the old black people. Opposition lawyers prepare to argue, but suddenly he couldn't say anything. The beauty of this girl's face suddenly turned into a demon. Mary is really scared. This must be an illusion. Must have been so stressful lately. Mary started working at the age of 13. All work part-time, to support her husband's work. She quit her job and went to New York, moved into a luxury apartment as soon as they arrived. Neighbors are all high-class ladies. She's really not used to it. Seeing her husband succeed, she feels she is not worthy of him. Mary is extremely self-deprecating and restless. One day Kevin and Mary join the company dinner together. Mary wears elegant clothes. Milton saw Mary for the first time and had a crush on Mary. Between conversations, Milton is good to sell Mary's lack of confidence. Milton sees the opportunity to help her transform her hairstyle. Milton suggested to Mary about a secret relationship, but she refused. Then Mary went to look for Kevin. Kevin's disappearance at the party made Mary lose her last sense of security. She went around asking about Kevin. As everyone knows, Kevin is on the rooftop. Have a great conversation with a beautiful woman. Milton's untimely appearance make the meeting between the two end. Now he has received a new case. Real estate tycoon accused of murdering wife, son and servant. This is a big murder. Boss rejects all other opinions. Handed over to newbie Kevin. The next day Mary cut her hair short. In the evening she told Kevin. Today Mary meets her neighbor again and finds her turning into a demon. Kevin said it was just an illusion caused by drinking and stress. Mary realizes that Kevin is not around and cares about Mary like before. No matter how much money he earns, she won't be happy. She tried to convince Kevin. Back to work at old company. Kevin expressed understanding of her troubles, but the big cake is in his hand now. He can't get out of this case. Tomorrow, he took his mother to stay with Mary, so that she can relieve her stress. That night, Mary was awakened by a strange noise. She heard the sound, so she went to check. A boy appeared in the next room, baby holding an ovary that has been removed. Blood dripping. Mary is scared to death. She saw blood coming out of her lower body again. Waking up from a nightmare, Mary looks so worn out. Kevin tried his best to comfort her. Illusions and nightmares appear over and over again. Kevin still doesn't mind it. Milton convinced Kevin to withdraw from the case, to have time to take care of Mary. But Kevin turned down the offer from Milton. First trial, Kevin relies on his skills. Success makes victory in his favor. At this time Kevin was warned by the general manager, suspicious director's name. Kevin wants to take his position as general manager. Kevin can't explain it to him. The next day Kevin went to Milton. Milton said it was the general manager who caused some trouble, because Kevin refuses to help. That got him out of his depression. Milton told Kevin not to worry about it. Everything has been helped by him. However, the next day, when the general manager is jogging, beaten to death by two homeless people nearby, Mary in the distance saw it through the window. She noticed two tracks that were very similar to those of a demon. It seems that things are not so simple. This is definitely not a fantasy. Known as the largest law firm in the United States, it's a business dedicated to helping the wicked get rid of crime. The two trump cards of the company: one is a young lawyer who has won 70 cases in a row. One is Milton, who is good at understanding. Kevin never took it again. Protective cases help some perverts and villains get away with crimes, but this time from the suspect's secretary. He clearly deduced the suspect was the murderer. Last defense in court, Kevin hesitated. He turned to look at Milton. Milton asked him to judge by intuition. Please help your client get rid of sin, or to end his winning streak, and let the company lose millions of dollars. After a little thought, he chose the song of the case won. Kevin went to find his wife immediately. Mary was in a coma, saying she suffered from being raped by Milton. Kevin can't believe it because all afternoon, Milton is in court, seeing scars all over Kevin's desperate wife. Poor her. He took her to the hospital immediately. Mom came to visit and found that Mary still hasn't recovered. Mom pulls Kevin out and reveals his father. Kevin has been fatherless since he was a child, but right now he has no thoughts. He has had an independent life since childhood, until Mom said that. She sent Kevin like a sheep into a pack of wolves. Kevin was shocked. This is Milton's quote. That's right. Milton is his father. Kevin's mother saw Milton for the first time that day. She found out, but Kevin has a serious case at hand. Mom didn't talk for 30 years. My first time to New York, at a strange place, met Kevin's father. It's Milton. Milton saw through her fragility, talked to her, fix her hair, just like Mary that day. Then they fell in love, but after Mom got pregnant, Milton is gone forever. After knowing the truth, Kevin panicked. In other words, Kevin's promotion. Everything happened recently, all carefully arranged by Milton. It was Milton that was secretly spying on Kevin. Wait until the right moment, he played Kevin other places. Kevin's assistant accompanied Mary, but Mary saw in the mirror that the assistant was also a demon. The last trace of sanity has been crushed. Mary is completely crazy. Kevin came immediately, but Mary locked the door. He yelled at her wearily, knocked on the door with a stool, but it didn't work. Mary picked up the pieces of glass on the ground. In front of Kevin, she committed suicide. After a long time, Kevin finally broke the door, but can only hold her body, desperately crying with resentment. Kevin goes to Milton's house. The man is like a demon. He waited for Kevin for a long time. Don't wait for Kevin to say, Milton admits all thoughts of Kevin. Kevin directly pulled out a gun and shot at Milton. But he wasn't hurt, because Milton is really Satan. What the wife saw was not a fantasy. That's all he did behind the scenes. Satan hastily explained who really caused Mary's death. It's Kevin himself. He has many chances to save her. There are many times Kevin can stop, but compared to his wife, Kevin loves himself more. From the teacher's case, for the case of a cultist, you know they're guilty. Also do your best to protect them. For money and vanity, Kevin himself gave up his wife, because he is the son of the devil. You have the best traits of vanity. Milton says Kevin is his best son, as long as he is combined with the demon's daughter. His children later will control the supremacy of the world, will rule the human world. After hearing that Satan, Kevin has awakened, but he decided to end it all. He raised his gun and shot himself. Kevin doesn't want to be controlled by his father. He will disrupt Milton's plot. Satan is angry right there. Everyone fell into the whirlpool of flames. Suddenly Kevin woke up from the bathroom. Reporter at the beginning of the movie, being sarcastic about his failure record, about to be broken. Is everything in New York just imagination? Nothing happened yet. Kevin looks at him in the mirror. His eyes become steadfast. Back in court he saw his wife. She is so beautiful. This time Kevin is on the side of justice. He actively gave up making excuses, put the pervert in jail. There was an uproar at the scene. Reporter asked Kevin what his exclusive news. This is the first time the reporter has seen such a righteous lawyer. Reporter said, everyone can consider Kevin a national celebrity. After 3 months Kevin became famous. Kevin and Mary looked at each other and smiled. Mary convinced him to agree with a reporter, so they can leave this small district, go to a big city to live in a luxury house and earn a lot of money. Kevin agreed with the reporter, then left. The reporter also changed back to Satan's form. Sure, even if you choose justice, Kevin still can't escape the lock of vanity, even if you go back in time. But it is the beginning of another trap. Actually, Satan always by our side, when you're right and wrong. The moment the decision was made, choose justice before you hesitate. That's the process of fighting against the devil. Today's story ends here.
Don't forget to subscribe, it helps the channel, and hit that notification bell to be notified for daily vids. Thank you for watching.